Hey dreamers and wanderers, welcome to a new episode of Dream and Wanderland, the podcast. I'm Pia, dream manifestation mentor, tarot spirit guide, and creator of all related to Dream and Wanderland, the podcast, the blog, the YouTube channel, so whatever it is, that's me. I'm the face behind there, and yeah, welcome to a new episode. And the whole episode is about, so the title is I Am Worthy. And it is, of course, related to one of my books that I participated as an author. It's a book collaboration. So this is how it looks like. And yeah, it's a book and a kind of story compilation of 12 stories from 12 different women, all with their own and unique take on the topic of being worthy. What does it mean? What does it mean for them? How, just their story and how they found out or how they feel worthy. Because, so from my opinion, it's a very, very important topic, because we all know the feeling of not feeling worthy. I'm pretty sure that if you feel like that right now or not, I'm pretty sure there were times in your life, as well as my life, where you felt not worthy of something, worthy of someone, worthy of receiving something, or be together with someone, whatever it means for you. And yeah, so there is a huge background to me feeling not worthy. And it really, okay, so just I don't really know where to begin right now, because the whole episode is not scripted at all, and I just talk from my heart. And I definitely know these moments, and so my personal self-development journey started around 2021. So in 2020, when COVID hit, I couldn't travel anymore, and the 1 or 2 years before that, I already had the feeling that I don't really travel anymore for the actual traveling, that I wanted to see the world, that I wanted to see what's going on at the different destinations or whatever. Yes, for sure, that as well, but at the same time I felt it felt more and more like also running away a bit, running away from myself and what's going on inside myself, and taking care of myself, taking care of my mental and emotional state. And so I think it started around 2018, latest 2019, when I really had the thoughts that I'm not doing the whole traveling anymore for the original reasons, because I wanted to see everything, especially with my own eyes, and experiencing everything and so on. And end of 2019, one of the last holidays I had there, I already knew that one of my next holidays definitely should be something that is more stationary, more slow traveling, more being not so much distracted by the actual sightseeing stuff and walking around all day, and be literally distracted by all the new experiences and all the input and everything. And so this is what I felt at the end of 2019, and I had already one more trip to go. Early 2020 I had my last big journey outside of Germany before the pandemic hit, and COVID hit the rest of the world and all of us. And so I had that, and I thought, and I already had my WrestleMania trip in April booked, so that should have been the last journey that was full of stuff. Let me say it this way, because WrestleMania is always busy with the actual events, then all the events around, meeting other wrestling fans and all the stuff, and meeting my wrestling buddies that I met already 10 years ago at a WrestleMania, and now we meet up again every year. So that is already busy, and then I had planned a road trip to New Mexico to Colorado, so it would have been a busy journey as well, and I knew that, and I knew that I wouldn't have time to actually look into myself on that trip. So I knew already that I am ready for something, how can I say that, more silent way of traveling, not so busy, a little bit slower, and actually with time to take care of myself and take care to look really inside what's going on there, because there was going on a lot at that time, especially around the feeling of not being worthy or not, there was a lot that was on my plate at that time. So we all knew what happened in around March to 2020, so the universe knew that probably a lot of us had the same issue, that they had that slight feeling of needing to look inside rather than keep themselves distracted. And so COVID hit. I'm not saying that the universe sent us the pandemic to remind us to look inside, but I mean, what a coincidence, kind of divine timing. Not sure if it really had to be an entire pandemic, but hey, this is how it went out, and this is what some of us, me included, took the chance to actually slow down, take that forced break to look inside and decide how the journey should continue. And for myself, I decided to take that really as a chance, and not being angry about that my travel journey or my travel plans didn't work out. So I took that really as a chance to sit with myself, look inside, and decide. This is where my decision happened, that if I can't travel physically, then at least I would love to travel inside and have a journey with inside me, with myself, my mind, my soul, my everything, and see where it leads me to. And so from there, pretty much the journey unfolded by itself. And fast forward to 2023, I had the chance to take part at that book project. I was contacted by someone who presented me this opportunity, and I thought, okay, it sounds nice. Writing a book is still on my dream list, and maybe this is the chance to actually start writing something, even though it's just one chapter, but yeah, starting somewhere is better than not starting at all. And so it happened that this is my first chapter ever that I wrote for a book, and in a book, being an author, a published author. So there I am, there is my chapter, and it continues for a couple of pages. Yeah, there's so many things in life. I mean, I can now call myself a published author, so how crazy is that? And yeah, so the whole journey of that book collaboration was indeed a journey with a couple of challenges also to write that chapter and to know what to write. And even there, the feelings of not being and being worthy or feeling worthy has also, it kind of blends into all kinds of other beliefs, like, am I good enough? Can I actually write a book? Is my story interesting enough? Will people actually want to read that? Am I a good writer? And all the things, it's kind of blends in and out with each other. And yeah, so it was quite a journey for me to write that chapter. And yeah, so it's all about feeling worthy. And yeah, so what I think I had for the entire journey, from being contacted and saying yes to the project until really like 6 months later or so, when I really hold that book in my hands, when the delivery of some physical copies arrived at my home, and I unboxed the boxes and really hold that book in my hands. So crazy. There were literally two really enlightened moments for me where I realized a couple of things. And so the first thing was that it happened when I thought about what I actually should write about and what is my personal take on this topic and what it means for me to feeling worthy. And I realized that for myself, feeling worthy or know that I am worthy no matter what I'm doing or what I'm not doing. And now that I'm talking about, even more stuff coming up, and all the things that people told me when I was a child, for example, like just for example, that my room was all, or especially my grandma always complained about that my room is not tidied up and it's not clean enough, and that I am lazy because I wanted to, I don't know, play around or watch TV rather than actually tidying up my room, because in my little world it didn't really make sense to me tidying up something, because when I play with my toys and I know that I want to play with them the next day, why should I tidy them up in the evening and take them out the next morning? So it really didn't make sense to me, and this is why I prefer to not tidying up but use my time for, in my opinion, more important things like watching TV, having fun, meeting friends, stuff like that. And this is still the way today. And yeah, things like that. So much stuff that is still, yeah, there's still a voice in my head that sounds very much like my grandma. Sorry, Granny, if you hear that somewhere where you are. But yes, that influences a child when it hears things like that all the time. So yeah, and all this mixture of hearing such things and some other really influencing things that happened in my childhood, and probably also some predefined conditions, like when you look into my human design chart, there are some points where you could say, okay, there is a kind of proof that I will have to deal with that topic my whole life. So yeah, so a mixture of that, all of that is kind of, yeah, making a wild mix, and it's sometimes it's hard to get around that, and telling myself over and over again that what other people say is not important. It's all about what I feel and I think about myself. And yeah, the truth in the end is that I am worthy. I was born worthy. We all are worthy. Everyone was born worthy. And only the following conditioning with society, parents, teachers, put some, one layer after another on top of that. Yeah, so that in the end we didn't even know that this is our truth, that we are worthy. Because I mean, no matter in what exactly do you believe, if it's the traditional religious version of a god, or if you believe in the universe, or whatever it is, but if you believe in something like that, then and they all have one thing in common, that we are all somehow, in some ways, part of the universe, God, and that we are representing that here on earth. And why exactly? I mean, when we are a representative of that, do you really believe that we are not worthy? Just asking. And so for me, while I was writing that chapter, I really digged deep in what it means to me and how it shows up in my life. And yeah, in the end, it's for me one way to express that I feel worthy is, yeah, it's pretty easy, but at the same time so hard to actually follow through with that sometimes, is really taking care of myself. Taking care of myself, what I want, what my dreams are, what, yeah, and follow that, and follow those dreams, and follow making things that I want, really putting a priority on it and really do the things. And this, especially for me, from my personal view, and this is only my view here, putting myself first is a way to express that my worthiness. Because if I think that I'm not worthy, why should it be important to me to actually make my dreams come true, or to set boundaries so that there is enough time and space in my life to follow those dreams and make them happen. And yeah, so for quite a long time in my life, I thought I would only be worth if I please other people. I'm big people pleaser. I always want to make people happy before I make myself happy. That's also, you can see that in my human design chart, by the way. And even my tarot cards say that this is one of my challenges in my life. And yeah, so this actually has changed over the past years when I started my personal development journey, that I realized exactly that I am worth, even if people don't like me anymore because I didn't do what they wanted me to do, then that's their issue and not mine anymore. So for a long time I took that as my issue, because then I feel not loved, not worthy, not whatever. And now it's not the case anymore. So I'm worthy, even if someone not like me, if I don't know, if people don't watch my videos or listen to what I'm saying here, even if they don't read the book, that's their choice, but it doesn't make anything with the value that I have, and that the way how I feel about it, because I am worthy, and we all are worthy, and we were born like that. And one of the challenges in our lives is to really free that from all those layers and conditioning and stories that people have told us, like our entire life, and what society is telling us all the time, that you are only worth when you work until you die, or I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter. The truth is that we are all worthy. And if you take only one thing from this video here, then this is it. You are worthy. Period. Nothing more to add. This is the truth and fact. And yeah, if anyone else tries to tell you something differently, then I don't know. Thank you for sharing, and go your way. And yeah, so this was one of the enlightened moments that I had on that journey. And the second one was when it came to my home, I unpacked everything and I had it, hold it in my hands, and I saw it, and for a split second there was a kind of excitement inside myself, like, wow, there it is, I wrote that, or I participated in that, it's published, we were bestsellers on different bestseller lists like New York Times and Amazon and stuff like that. So, I mean, if you, we all know those famous authors like the one that wrote Harry Potter, for example, or I forgot her name, pardon me, but doesn't matter. But you know, those famous authors that you think they have done such a huge thing, and then I'm standing there, I pretty much did the same thing. I was part of a book writing and book publishing project, and I am a published author as well, and best-selling author as well. It's the same as my fellow 11 other women here. So, okay, we didn't, or at least I haven't made that much money out of it as J. K. Rowling? I don't know. You know who I mean. J.K. Rowling? Wrong? I don't know. Anyways, there's not that much money behind there, and not a 10 episode movie series or something like that. But in the end, we are published authors, and it is huge. It is a huge thing that happened, and it happened to me, and I made that happen because I said yes to the project and I wrote that chapter, and I created that, I manifested that. And then I sit there and I only have a split second to celebrate that, or at least feel some kind of excitement. Well, that was the moment that I realized that something is still not quite right, or it's a little bit off from what it should be. And I know that I'm not the huge I'm not a very emotional person. I'm not freaking out when something huge has happened. That's not me. I'm pretty neutral in my emotions and expressing them, and that's fine. That's how I'm designed, and that's how I'm born, and that's fine. However, the difference of not being an emotional person who expresses their happiness or excitement all the time versus not being able to see how huge those things are, to acknowledge what I have already created in my life so far, that I made it happen to be on a bestseller list, that I don't know, have a published blog for now almost 2016, like 8 years, that people read my stuff and get inspired by what I'm writing there and what I publish, and that I made my travel dream come true, and all those things that I don't, it really, it was like a little step into my heart when I realized that I'm not able to acknowledge what I created here on this planet and in my life. And that was a moment where I really thought, okay, no, I don't want that anymore, and I want to change that, and I want to see myself in the light that I see the truth and not what I think, because that was just another layer of conditioning, that it doesn't matter what I'm achieving in my life, that it won't never be enough and not good enough and there we are back to the topic of I'm worthy, that I will never be worthy enough. That's crazy. And this is the most of expression you get from myself when I have emotions. So you probably see the difference between really having emotions and at least to see and acknowledge what I have achieved. And yeah, so in that moment, at that very moment when I realized that, when that light bulb went on and I thought, OMG, there is something not right and I want to change that, and this is not the way it could stay for the rest of my life. And yeah, the next action I took was literally taking my journal out and wrote down everything, every single piece and every single thing that came to my mind. And I did that over the next couple of days. Whenever something popped up in my head that I have done in my life, I wrote it down. I acknowledged, I celebrate, and I was impressed by myself what I have done. And that was such a huge difference between just taking it as a total normal thing that happens versus really seeing that as an achievement, a goal, a dream that I fulfilled myself, and really being impressed by myself what exactly I am capable of. And so these were the two moments and the two lessons that I got from that book. And yeah, the good thing about, and I have that action, or how can I say this so I still have the journal, I still have a journal, and I call it celebration journal. And whenever I reached a milestone, or whenever I did something that is something that is really an achievement, even if it's just a small thing, like I don't know, going out and do my 10,000 steps round and actually achieving that. For me, this is a huge thing. And I don't know, when I published a blog post that goes viral, or when I sold something from my offer palette, and when I got a new client, or whatever it is, I celebrate that. I write that down, and whenever I am in the position when I feel that feeling, or that voice, another voice, not my grandma this time, but it sounds very much as my own voice, so it's a mixture of my inner critic, my perfectionist, or something like that. So there is still that voice that sometimes comes up. And at the time when I had that realization of not acknowledging the things enough, it was really, really loud, and very often the case that I heard that voice that said, you haven't done anything in your life, you haven't achieved anything, you're pretty much nothing. I was tired of listening to that voice, and as more as I wrote down the things that I achieved, and as more as I over and over read through this journal, especially in those times when that voice popped up again, and when I didn't feel good, and when I had those thoughts that I haven't done anything in my life, as more and more I read through that and wrote that down, this very loud voice literally got silent and didn't show up that often anymore. And so it's literally just 1 year between that and today, and I really can say that this voice is not that loud anymore. And this is, for me personally, this is a huge achievement in my personal mindset and developmental journey, to really see how amazing I am, how huge things I already created in my life and made happen, and that I indeed can be an inspiration to other people, by leading by example. And I'm still very far from being perfect or being the manifestation queen ever, although I kind of call myself that way. I do have a lot of work in front of me as well, but I mean, we are making baby steps here. We sometimes baby steps, sometimes really quantum leaps, but as long as we do any kind of steps into the right direction, and even if it's not in the straight direction, but maybe with a little detour here and there, or setbacks or whatever, but as long as we do the things and we try to make sure that we feel better and don't stay in this miserable state of mind where we think that we haven't done anything, or we are not worthy, or we don't deserve anything, or whatever. As long as we do something about that and really go, or really realize as long as this is the case, I think everything is fine and we are making progress. And I can say it about myself, I do make progress. As I said, I'm still far away from being perfect, but I realize the progress and the shift and the change from me in 2020 versus today, and even more a bigger difference between 2014, when I started my journey, my traveling journey, when I started to fulfill my dream of traveling the world, to today. There's a huge difference. I mean, I never would have guessed that I feel confident enough to sit here in front of a camera and tell you stuff that is really what's going on in myself and what's happening in my thoughts, and what's really coming from my heart and opening up to the public. I never would have thought that I would do something like that, and definitely not thought that I'd do that in English, because at that time my English wasn't that good, and I was already scared by traveling into the US, because my English wasn't that good that I had the confidence to say, okay, I will understand everyone, or that I can make myself understandable. And now, look at me, I'm talking in English for, now it's almost 40 minutes without even thinking about it. And I mean, even that is a huge achievement, isn't it? So, okay, I'm not sure if that whole episode made sense or come to a full circle right here. But yeah, to summarize it, there are 3 things that I hope that you take away from this episode. And now I'm changing into the shadows because the sun is moving here. Okay, so the first thing, there's a book out there. It's called I Am Worthy, and it's a collaboration between 12 women, including me. We all have a chapter in this book, and it's available whether on Amazon, you can find it, which is, you could do that, but it won't help me personally. But if you would love to buy it, then feel free to buy it from me. I put the link into the show notes so that I actually can earn a little bit of that. So it would mean the world to me if you could, or if you want to copy that, and to support me and my work here, then use the link that I provided you. So that is the first thing. There's a book available. The second thing, in relation to the topic of this episode and the book, I am worthy. I am worthy. You are worthy. We were born worthy, and it doesn't matter what anyone tries to tell you, you are worthy, and you stay worthy. And even if you're thinking about yourself, even if there is room for improvement, you are still worthy. And this is the most important thing, you are worthy. And yeah, the third thing is, there we are. The third one is really make sure that you acknowledge and celebrate your personal achievements, the project, the goals, the career steps, maybe the private achievements. If you bought a house or made babies or published a book or whatever, it doesn't have to be a huge thing. It also can only be going out of bed in the morning and provide yourself with a life and such things. Make sure that you acknowledge and celebrate that, because it's not happening for granted, and it's not just like that. You really have done something for that, and this is what we really need to acknowledge. That's our creation power, it's our manifestation power. That is what we are able and capable of to do. And to even see it from that kind of angle is mind-blowing, at least to me. And I really wish that a lot more people see how awesome they are, and acknowledging and celebrating, and especially in writing form. Got yourself a celebration journal too, and really write the things down. And whenever you feel bad or not worthy or not good enough or perfect enough or whatever, grab that journal and read through all your achievements and see the truth. Because sometimes we are just caught in our world and everything is happening around, and we don't have the time to actually acknowledge those things and see what we made happen throughout a day, and to take the time for journaling, celebrating, acknowledging, and read through it from time to time all over again. It really helps to see our own awesomeness. And yeah, these are the 3 things that I hope you take from this episode. And yeah, so with that, I would say goodbye for now, and see you in the next episode, or on my YouTube channel with all the tarot readings, or in the book, or wherever, social media. I don't know. There are many opportunities to stay in touch, to get connected, to buy from me, to read from me, to just be in my world. And yeah, with that in mind, I would say thank you for listening when you make it to this point in the episode. And yeah, thank you for listening. Feel free to share the episode or anything else. I will put all the links that I have talked about in the show notes, in the description box, wherever you will find it. And then we see us in the next video, in the next episode. Until then, happy celebrating, happy acknowledging, and remember, you are worthy. Bye.